All right, let's take another call. Let's go to Nancy, who's in Woodbridge, Virginia. Nancy, you're on Talk of the Nation. Welcome.
Hi, I'd like to say salam alaikum to Mr. Hashami. I'm an American Muslim woman who's been, viewing the situation with the Taliban through the lens of the Western media, and I really just wanted to say that I appreciate hearing the view of someone who's from the country. I think the situation with regards to the women is not ideal, but then it's also exaggerated because the Westerners simply cannot look from the point of view of a Muslim. It's alien to them. They see the women as downtrodden. I mean, I see Western women as downtrodden because they're forced to reveal themselves and dress skimpily and go out and compete with men. And I'd just like to hear him comment on that.
Well, before he does, let me ask you a question. I don't think it's true that a Western woman is forced to dress in any fashion.
Well, I mean, look at what we have as our models, which are women who are skinny and tall and naked, and women are forced to try and live up to that. I mean, if that weren't true, then places like Weight Watchers and Jenna Craig wouldn't be so popular because we're trying to live up to this awful ideal.
But that's different. Someone being concerned about how they appear maybe to their mate, to their community, is different than someone being denied the opportunity for education or even to leave their house.
Well, I think the talk about education, it's not as if, somebody came and closed down Virginia Tech and said all the women have to go home. We're talking about a country whose infrastructure was destroyed. It's not like they have universities all over the place and they just set the women home. So many of the teachers were killed fighting as mujahideen. So you're acting as if, once again, you're viewing it through a Western lens. And if things had to get extra tight before they can go back to a more moderate line, then that's the case. And it's not a perfect situation, but I think viewing it, from some superior Western technological viewpoint is not correct.
You're listening to Talk of the Nation from NPR News. Mr. Hashami, why don't you respond to Nancy?
Thank you very much for your comments, and wa alaikum assalam. It is exactly right, and I have told the American people here that if my only source of information about the Taliban were the Western media, I would hate them too, because the media here is exactly reporting things, exaggerating in spicy stories so that sell advertisements simply.
Exactly.
So in our country, the situation is not as simple or simplistic as the people see it here. The situation there is worse. 95% of our people are uneducated. 95% of our people do not even know if the world is round or flat. So to try to talk to them about votes or that thing is ridiculous. All they care about is their food. All they care about is the health of children. It's right. For even in the United States, do still women have equal salaries as men have? No.
No.
Even 75 years ago, did you have the right of women? Did women have the right of voting? No. Everything should be done gradually. Look at about the rights of women in Las Vegas. What about that?
What do you mean?
Women are just sold. Women are just used as objects, just used as for the lust of man.
Well, wait a
For
second.
us, it's very surprising.
I find this wild. I mean, wait a minute. People can go to Las Vegas. This is a free society. We have people who fail. We have people who become drug addicts. People who become prostitutes. We have people who commit suicide. It's a free society.
Exactly. This is your society, and this is for us. It is horrible. But we don't criticize you for that. Maybe there are things which are horrible for you that you see in our country. But that is not horrible for us.
You know what bothers me is a fact is a fact. In your culture or in my culture, if you said to me, Juan, your daughter can't go to school, I would say, Mr. Hashami, you and I have a big, big problem.
Please, we don't say that they can go to school. And when I'm repeating it again and again, we are not coming from Mars or other planet. We are from the earth, and we are giving birth by a woman. Our wives are women. Our daughters are women. Our sisters are women. What do you mean?
Well, as I understand it, and again, I'm relying on Western media accounts, you have limited educational opportunities for women. You have limited the ability of a woman to even practice the law, medicine, in terms of using her education. You're shaking your head. You say this is not true.
That is absolutely wrong.
All right, let's take another call. Let's go to Omar, who's in Trenton, New Jersey. Omar, you're on Talk of the Nation with Lauren Jenkins and
Hi,
Mr. Hashami.
Thank you for taking my call, and salam alaikum, Mr. Hashami. I want to make a comment on two things, if you give me a chance, Mr. Wan.
Yes, please be quick.
Okay. The first thing, that the Taliban did a lot of positive things for the country of Afghanistan, which has suffered for 20 years in the wars and was horrible in Afghanistan, was unhuman things going on. Right now, the 90% Afghanistan is in faith and heaven for the people that live in Afghanistan, but not for the Western countries.
Omar, can you hold on for just a moment, please?
Sure.
We're talking about Afghanistan's struggle to survive winter, war, famine, and poverty. I'm Juan Williams. It's Talk of the Nation from NPR News. It's Talk of the Nation. I'm Juan Williams. Tomorrow, President Bush has told the American Bar Association he won't be needing its help when he's nominating judicial candidates. The ABA's reaction and the challenges of selecting judges. That's on the next Talk of the Nation at this time tomorrow. Today we're talking about the struggle for survival in Afghanistan, where wars, famine, winter, and international sanctions have put the lives of Afghans at risk. But is the Islamic Taliban government increasing the burden on its people by applying hardline Islamic rules? Our guests are the roving envoy of the Taliban government of Afghanistan, Saeed Hashami. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Mr. Hashami?
That's right.
Okay, thank you. And Lauren Jenkins. I think I got your name right, Lauren.
You got it right.
I'm working on it, though. NPR's foreign desk editor. Join the conversation, 800-989-TALK. Our email address is totn@npr.org. Omar, you were saying before the break. Please continue.
I was saying that Afghanistan was trained to a lot of horrible things in Afghanistan, and the people was disrespecting the women. But right now, the woman is protected and respected, and everybody is loving and caring about the women. But the Western media is making, negative things out of that, which is this is the Islamic rule. But they're not supposed to, expect from Islamic women as a Western woman. We have the rule. And another thing, in Afghanistan was the ally of the United States one time when we destroyed the communism and they leave us alone, and we are killing in each other, brothers, sisters, don't care about us. And one time we was the friend, ally. Osama bin Laden was the ally and friend. But right now he is the number one enemy, and Afghanistan is number two enemy. So I want to make if we can make a comment on that.
Well, I appreciate it, Omar. Thank you for your call. Mr. Hashami, here is someone defending the treatment of women in Afghanistan. But what you're hearing from me, I think what you're hearing from Lauren Jenkins, is concern that women are being denied rights. And what you've done is you've come on the show and say, listen, the image that you have in the Western media is a complete distortion. So the reality is that, now you're telling me this, women can go to school, young women can go to school, can get an education, can learn a profession, and can practice that profession and aspire to be anything in Afghanistan. Is that right?
Exactly, that's right. And we have said that if that is limited, it doesn't mean that we don't want to expand it. We don't have enough resources to do that. And we have asked several times the world to help us in that. The United Nations helped us with opening 5 faculties of medical science for women, and that is now going on. So we have said that please help us, but we cannot change the way we educate women. You cannot just ask us that they should wear miniskirts and go together with boys. That's our rule.